Hey, Arthur, just so you'll know, it has not allowed me to come up as a co-host, but I'm going to drop down and see if I can do it again. Let me try to request.
Hello, everyone. We're about to get started, waiting for Coach George to join and also Blurry. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining the space. If you're here, you're probably a big fan of Back to the Future. Get nostalgia when you see those blockbuster posts, the DeLorean car, the film industry, and gamers like myself. I'm really excited to be hosting this space because DeLorean Labs isn't just another project. And as we go through this space, we're going to go over why that is. I also wanted to give a shout out to everyone on the SUI. I know everyone is listening. Everyone that's listening knows that SUI is different from any other blockchain. You know, even through everything that's going on in the world, when I join spaces, I see everybody on the SUI community coming together. It's a place where I like to escape sometimes when I'm at work and just listen in on people. And to be honest, it feels like it's 1988 when I'm on spaces because people are just having a good time. I also wanted to mention that this space will be recorded, and I will be also uploading this space to YouTube and Spotify. So we can easily share this space as it'll be the first of many to come. So let's get started. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Coach George, are you in?
Yes, I'm here. I hear you. Ready to
Okay.
roll.
Okay. Awesome.
So, and welcome everyone.
Yeah, welcome. So my name is Arthur, and before I got into crypto, I was a project engineer building high rises in Washington State for 11 years. And what I loved about being a project engineer is before the project began with the company, they gave me the freedom to do some sketches in an R form using Bluebeam, so that when the project started, I already had 4 years of issues that I already knew was going to happen. And when the contractors came in, I would hand them papers, and they would be able to figure it out like a 5-year-old kid, and they already know what to do. So that was the main part of the fun that I had as a project engineer. And I know most of you probably saw my Lego movie that I made. That's something I've always wanted to do, is it's kind of be a director. When I was 17, I did a couple movies in school, but that's when, it was hard to save video and stuff like that when you grow up. And so all that stuff was lost, but now I'm getting the chance to do it again. So if you guys saw the Lego movie, check it out. I kind of want to do some series. I'm working on that with my kids because if they like it, then I know everybody will like it. So taking a little more time, trying to make sure they come out pretty good. And before I bring up the co-hosts to introduce themselves, I wanted to say that I'm grateful to be a DeLorean Labs ambassador and also part of the SUI community, because everybody's been welcoming, all the other projects. They, follow each other, they join each other's spaces, and I have invested in those projects as well. We might be able to see some of them come up later. And go ahead, Coach George, I'll give it to you.
Thank you, Arthur. And I encourage everyone to like and share the room. And hopefully, as we get going, maybe we'll let a little time go by to have more people come in. But excited to be here, like Arthur. I'm Coach George, obviously. I did coach football. I've run many businesses over my career. I got in Bitcoin. 2014 doesn't count because one of my businesses, a company wanted to pay us for advertising in Bitcoin. And they sent us, believe it or not, $3,600 of Bitcoin in 2014. And we sold it immediately because we didn't know what it was. And then I actually got into Bitcoin at 2016 and became, just locked in and have been trading that and obviously other ecosystem tokens. Got into Binance when it was not in the US, and we've had several ups and downs just like everybody. I got hacked in 2018. And anyway, so I'm a crypto enthusiast. When DMC or DeLorean came out, I'm probably older than everybody in the room, and it's still one of my favorite movies of all time. And it's a timeless movie. I mean, a time machine still hasn't really happened, and so it still holds weight in today. And so I followed John DeLorean, the whole DeLorean story. I wanted a DeLorean, but couldn't afford it back then, and so that's pretty much me. And again, thank you guys for coming. We look forward to the space. Um, Again, like and share. Disclaimer: we're not employees of DeLorean. We're ambassadors and lovers of what's coming. This space is for entertainment and education purposes only. Nothing is official from DeLorean. If you'll go to their socials at DeLorean Labs, would be, we'll call that home base. Um, Dream Media does a lot of the marketing. So that's at the Ship Dream, I believe, account. If you'll follow them, you'll get as many up to date um, as they're coming. Basically, crypto is very volatile industry, as we all know. Even watching what happened yesterday with Trump and Elon. So don't invest more than you can afford to lose. So those are the disclaimers. The space format today, we're going to go through some of the history of DeLorean, how they got into crypto, blockchain technology, and the movie, all the different things that they've been doing up to date, and just we really look forward to what's coming. So I'll go back to you, Arthur, if you like, so you can kind of go over. I'm really interested in the title, "Why I Sold My Bitcoin." So I'd love to hear what you have to share on that.
Well, let's before I get into that, let's bring up Burry. If you want to go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I actually just got a call from my daycare. My baby has a high temper, so I'm gonna just drop down to listening while I go drive and do that. But LaShawn DeLorean, love to hear what you guys say, and we'll do another one of these where I can goof around with you. So I'm gonna drop down, but Phil can carry on.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. So yeah, I mean, before I can get into why I sold my Bitcoin, I need to kind of tell you why I bought it. And back in 2018 when I saw the movie Ready Player One, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but just in case anybody hasn't seen it, you should check that movie out. But I was a big fan of the movie and games. So when that movie came out, I was like, man, it would be really cool if you could purchase like an item in a game and be able to move it around to different games. And I was a big fan of the movie. And, owning your digital assets is probably going to come here soon. Um, so 2020 came, and that's when crypto took off. The movie came out before, then crypto came out, and then people talking about NFTs and all this stuff. Then I got really into NFTs as well back in 2020. And I invested in everything. I went FOMO. I spent all my money on meme coins. It was a great time. I'm sure everybody had a good time in the 2020s, 2021, and no complaints. And then I think around the end of 2022 and early 2023, I started investing in way too many coins, and I was just losing money left and right. I think I got too greedy, and I just started donating money basically to these people. And so over in a span of 5 months of losing money, I kind of just said, you know what, I don't want to play this game anymore. So I ended up selling everything I had, and I bought Bitcoin, a whole Bitcoin. And I set I put it on Robinhood because Robinhood is trusted. I said, I'm done. And I started putting my recurring buys. So I would buy Bitcoin every day, like a little bit, a couple of $100 a day, set a daily buy. That was it. That was my 401k. I was set to just give up. I deleted my old X account that had all those meme coins that I followed and everything. And I was just going to start over. I made a new X account and started watching just for news. Like I was just like, I'm just gonna pop on X to see what's going on, because then I want to emphasize, like I tapped out. I didn't want to come back. I swore I wouldn't come back to crypto. I'm like, this is it. I'm 10 years, Bitcoin will probably be worth 500 to $1 million. That was my thought. Then somehow on X, I stumbled upon a post from DeLorean Labs. I think they were getting ready to launch the time capsule. So I got a little curious. So I dove into it a little bit because I was like, let me see what's going on. Dove a little bit and I saw, is this the real DeLorean car coming into crypto? So I paused my daily buys on Bitcoin and started buying time capsules on Tradeport. And I went a little crazy on that, let my curiosity win a little. Then I saw a post about Sui Play, the console. I think they had their event. That's kind of when I heard about them. So I dove into that. And then I started reading that Sui has these, maybe somebody can come up later and talk about it, but the NFTs that are like programmable so they can change and you can move them around. So I kind of read that, and I'm not like a dev, but I was interested. I'm like, maybe this is what I've been looking for in the past, what I thought was going to happen back in the day. So, and after falling in love with Sui, kind of looking at it, started looking at the time capsules from DeLorean, seeing more posts from them, kind of followed them. So I pre-ordered the Sui Play console as well. I bought into the pre-sale. I bought one. Then I was excited. DeLorean started following me because I posted about my time capsules that I bought. And they liked it. They sent me an email saying, hey, do you want to be an ambassador in the future? And I'm like, sure. And then, I followed Toilet. Toilet started messaging me. They were really good people, the intern and Dr. Ari. So I was like, what is going on? Like usually when, in the other projects that I was investing in, I wouldn't talk to anybody. It was just kind of like you're on your own, investing on your own. You kind of was the old wild, wild west. So it took me about 5 minutes to realize that, what, maybe crypto's back. So I dove into some more stuff. And you know what? I ended up selling all my Bitcoin and putting it all on Sui. And it's just funny to me that the moment I gave up, like I gave up maybe for like a week. It was a week when I said, you know what, I'm done with crypto. Sold it all, moved it to Bitcoin. And then maybe it was a month later, I'm back onto crypto and having a good time again. So hoping that, this is not financial advice. I'm not saying to sell all your Bitcoin, but I'm a fan of movies, games, NFTs. I think SUI, all networks in the future, you're going to find your own place, kind of like a state in the United States. You're going to kind of find where you belong. I think I belong in SUI just because of the games, movies, and NFTs that they're making. Uh, so yeah, that's kind of my pitch on why I sold my Bitcoin and came back to crypto, and it's kind of been a fun ride. As you guys know, I like doing artwork and stuff like that, so that's why you see a lot of my posts uh, on X. Um, so yeah, go back to you, Coach.
Sorry about that. Couldn't get my mic to go. I was muted. Yeah. So, and also, we are going to do a giveaway today. So you'll know. So we're going to give away one DMC time capsule. And what I'd like for you to do is like, retweet the space, tag DMC and Sui in the comments, and later on towards the end of the space, and tag a friend, of course. And later on in the space, we'll probably have someone here in the community pick the winner. So wanted to start just kind of go into the history, because DeLorean, in my opinion, DMC is, aside from Bitcoin, this is not financial advice, it's my opinion, but it is one of the most recognizable brands that will be in crypto for those of us who aren't already here. I call it a mom index. Uh, my mother knows I've been in Bitcoin for years. She's always like, "Why are you into that Bitcoin thingy?" And now here over the last year or so, with some of it's all over the news now, and so now she's like, "Hey, should I get into this Bitcoin thingy?" Well, she's honestly a little bit too old for my mother to get into conservative or into risky assets, so I've not really advised her that. But I know that if she came in said, "Well, tell me about crypto," and I said, "Well, Mom, you ought to buy some fart coin." I don't think that would go over real well. So, but I believe if I said, "Hey, DeLorean is doing," and I have told her that I'm, planning on investing in an ambassador for DeLorean, and she immediately knew who it was. So, from a brand's perspective, that's just massive. So, again, the history: DeLorean was founded in 1975 by John DeLorean. So, I think that's like 50 years ago. And he was an amazing person. Again, I'm aging myself. I followed his story. He was an engineer with General Motors, just a pioneer ahead of a time. If you go back to those years, that's where we had the muscle cars, the Camaros and what have you. And one of the main cars that he was involved in production of was the Pontiac, the GTO, which is, again, in my opinion, just a badass car. It was ended up being like the number 3 selling car during that time. And he was involved again with GM. He was the fastest or the youngest person to ever to be division chief in GM history. He started college. He ended up having to go into World War II, so he served 3 years for our country. Then after he got out of school, he came back and he got his master's in engineering and an MBA in 1957. So he rose to the ranks, became wealthy. Uh, some cool things I found during the research: he invested in the New York Yankees. Hope there's not a lot of Mets fans here. San Diego Chargers. A little bit of Rebel. That's back when the IBMers were all wearing black suits with the blue button down, and he was more of a rebel, with the sideburns and that kind of thing. If you go back into the 60s and 70s history. So and starting DeLorean, he did some private equity funding, had people like, I don't know if you guys, everybody would have heard of Johnny Carson and Roy Clark, guitarist, Rat Pack guy, Sammy Davis were some of the original investors. Then, went through different things with banking and finance and getting loans and all that. And finally, were able to launch the car production in 1981. The original DMC 12, which is the one that everybody recognizes from the movie, was originally manufactured in Northern Ireland. Uh, the cool things about the DMC 12, it was a stainless steel vehicle, I believe the first ever of its kind, and it had the infamous gull wing doors. So gull wing, like seagull, the doors would open up. I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. But they were selling for about 20,000 back then, would be equivalent of about 118, 120,000 today. And I don't really want to get into the inflation discussions here because we've all got opinions about that. About 9,000 cars were totally produced, and then John got into some, well, again, I followed it. He was framed on some things, was obviously not convicted, and eventually the company did go bankrupt. Um, a real interesting thing I found in the research, which kind of just blew my mind, so I thought I would share it here today. During his bankruptcy, he had a 400-acre estate in New Jersey, and he ended up having to sell that, unfortunately, and he sold it to somebody you guys may have heard of. Uh, his name was Donald Trump. So just kind of some nice little history about how DeLorean got started. Let me get back up on my notes to make sure where I am, because I do want to try to stay on task here. Give me just a second. Then Back to the Future movie came out in 1985. So that's when the car was pretty much, the centerpiece of the whole movie. Time travel using a DeLorean type flux capacitor. Hopefully, some of you or all of you have seen the movie, and you got up to 88 miles an hour, and they were able to go back to 1955, and Michael J. Fox was one of the main characters, and Doc Brown. Everybody knows Great Scott, Doc Brown. So who invented the time machine? Went back in the 50s. Ran into his mother and father when they were young, and the whole story was basically, I've got to get them together so I'll be born, or I'm going to disappear because of this time machine thing, going back in time and changing history. So just a great movie, great movie. Then they had a sequel.
Yo, Coach,
Yeah,
Coach, I
yeah.
gotta stop you.
Okay.
Everybody's fucking seen that goddamn movie, and you skipped over the best fucking part of the story of John DeLorean, dude. Who's fucking got pulled? His car was loaded with cocaine, dude. That's what it was alleged with. Fucking the DeLorean rolled up with a whole bunch of cocaine. That was the best part of the story. You just glassed right over it, dude. But continue forward. Let's fast forward to the good stuff, dude.
Okay. Well, I intentionally did that, right? So, but thanks for, I guess, thanks for bringing it up. So yeah, he got framed, basically, in my opinion. So let's don't get too far into me and you arguing over that. But yeah, that was one of the things that went down.
I'm not saying if he was guilty or not. I'm just saying the detail of like
Yeah.
that's fucked up.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. Hey, it's public record, right? So it is there. Uh, so anyway, the movie again, 1989 and 1990 sequels, because it was obviously such a well admired and loved movie. Then later, Arthur had mentioned Ready Player One. The car was in that as well, and now we are here today. So DeLorean has decided to get back in the auto industry. They've got restart plans to build an Alpha 5 that will be coming fairly soon, and have made the choice to run their marketplace and everything on the blockchain. So, round of applause, everybody. Give your claps for that. because to have a real world asset company with a brand that's 50 years old and also a movie that's celebrating their 40-year anniversary, and they're coming to the blockchain. And for us who obviously love Sui, they're coming to the Sui blockchain. And I'm going to let Arthur go over the car because I know he's got a time or got a slot for production, and he loves cars. And let him talk a little bit about the DMC 12 and the Alpha 5.
So I'll go back to the movie real quick and Back to the Future also, because what's cool is they made 3 movies and they're all still hanging out together to this day. Like I think they started a charity foundation, and they're still hanging out. If you follow them on X, you can see them posting that they still have dinner together, and I think that's really cool because some of these actors these days making movies or a ton of movies that come out, nobody hangs out like they do, 50 years later. So I think that's really cool. Furry, did you want to kind of introduce yourself before we go on?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't have any crazy stories about like companies giving me Bitcoin for payment. I was just a regular guy buying Bitcoin too, doing NFTs for a while. Trying to start like a golf membership thing, kind of like shortly after Link's DAO started, and then like relaunched right after like the FTC thing, or yeah, with the Bankman Fried or whatever. Then just been riding the internet ever since. Just like to goof around, and then when I saw DMC hit the radar, I don't even know, it popped up on my algorithm somehow, like back in November, December. That's what got me into Sui, and I also did sell some Bitcoin, if I'm being honest about it. And I said I wasn't going to do it because I did it once, and I was like, "Why'd you do that?" But like, then when I found out that because of the U.S. Laws, you couldn't do the pre-sale, I just heard one time on a space, I think Evan say the best way to get allocation would be to be just buying time capsules. So they just called me the fucking floor sponge, dude. Everyone was just kind of dumping for a while, and I've just been sitting happy. I was able to buy myself one of the slots as well. So excited to be a part of a first edition on many fronts. So I guess that's my introduction.
I'm going to piggyback on that too. But it's been probably about 4 months, so definitely not a Sweet OG, but because of the DMC, it brought me over to Sweet. And I've been doing a lot of research, and this community is awesome. These projects are just amazing. Seeing the builders and things like Walrus that are building for the future. They're building for Web 2 to Web 3.
Ika, bro. Ika is about to change the game.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's about to launch, and it's a chain of builders and a chain of communities. I mean, it's had a resurgence of the NFT industry, and you've got projects that are they're helping each other, and communities are supporting each other and airdropping each other. And shoot, most of the people that have bought NFTs have gotten more than their money back, even with the time capsule. So I have absolutely fallen in love with the Sui community, or the Sui community. I've got to keep saying that. Don't want to be an Arkansas Razorback. But yeah, and I hope, there's many of the, projects are here. Twitter is absolutely, or X is absolutely killing me. I can't see but like 5 listeners on here. So Arthur, you're going to have to, and Furry, you're going to have to handle the invites and stuff today. But again, back to the car, if you would, Arthur, would you give a little bit on the Alpha 5 and your thoughts about it, and obviously share the website and things like that.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share that right here in a bit. So 1 second. So the marketplace is live. Another thing too, when I had Bitcoin and all that, I actually pre-ordered the Cybertruck back in the day before it was even out. I think even 2 years before. I was like, I was, I think, the 300,000 person in line, so I was gonna have a pretty good serial number, and sat on it for 2 years. And then when the truck came out, I wanted the $80,000 truck. I didn't want the founder's truck, but I think I got moved up just because a lot of people probably dropped off, and you do get your deposit back. But holding it for 2 years, I didn't mind it. It wasn't a lot of money. I think it was a couple $100. But anyways, 2 years, they had my money. The truck came out. I got the email saying your truck's ready to pre-order. It was $120,000, and I have two Teslas, and one of them, when I paid full price for it, right now, it's worth a fraction of what it costs. So at this point, there's no point to sell. So my wife's like, you should buy the Cybertruck with your Bitcoin or whatever, and I'm like, nah, I don't want to feel that greedy. And so when the DeLorean car came out, I'm a fan of the movie. Like, I'm a big fan of the old DeLorean as well. Something I might be interested in the future, probably buying it. I see it all the time when I go to LA and I take pictures with the DeLorean. I don't have any to share right now, but maybe in the future. And so I bought a time capsule when they released it. Somebody won it, when they revealed the NFTs. Everybody got shirts, jackets, the karate combat tickets. I actually talked to Pow Pow, the one that won the actual DeLorean NFT car. He's really cool. We chat on Telegram all the time. Shout out to him if he's here. He's on X too. So I bought the time capsule from Tradeport, and then when the marketplace went live, I also bought a slot. And what's cool about the reserve slots is that it's not going to be in production for the next 2 to 3 years. So it gives me flexibility. So if anything happens where life changes, you can easily put it back on the market, or somebody, once they start going full blown marketing on this, and a lot of people start wanting to buy these cars, because there's only going to be, I don't want to budge the numbers, but I'm going to say 9,000, but it could be less. And we could probably update that later. So a lot.
No, dude, I think the first run is only like 1,700 or 1,200, something like that. It's very minimal.
Yeah, so very minimal. So imagine once, if Mr. Beast wants to buy them, he'll buy them all, man. 1,000, he's going to buy them for all his friends. So, these NFTs are going to be worth a lot. And, I want the car. So, if I can wait a little bit longer for the second run, it gives you the flexibility to be able to sell your reserve slot if you need to. That's the cool thing. Like I said, I had a good place in line in Tesla, and actually a lot of people were selling their accounts, but you would have to sell your email and your password to sell your reserve slot for the Cybertruck. And you had to sell your whole Tesla account. You couldn't just sell your, and Tesla was cracking on that too. So they weren't letting people do that. So this kind of gives you a little bit more flexibility to do whatever you want, whether you want to buy it, invest in it. The cool thing is also you're going to be able to stake it soon. So if you buy a reserve slot right now, in the next coming, maybe I want to say later this month or maybe next month, they haven't announced that just yet, but you'll be able to stake your NFT. And once the car goes into production, then you can cash it out. But you'll be earning DMC as your reserve slot is sitting there being staked. They'll come out with more details on that probably soon. The car, as you guys know, man, it's a beautiful luxury car. It's a really high-end car. And this is not no Tesla. Like, every detail in this car is really mint. And it's going to have some tech that no other car has. They haven't even announced it fully yet, but there's a couple of videos on YouTube. But it seems like all the tech coming out of this car is like from Area 51 that they've had for like a while now. They have the DeLorean Sense Band, which you can give to your girlfriend, kids, wife. They can send you hugs on the seat. I think that's really cool. And if you can set your seat temperature to their body temperature. So that's something you've never seen before in a car. And the car is also going to be a driving wallet. And so it's going to be, I think, on Sui. I don't know too much about the details. I know I heard on one of the spaces I've been talking about hooking up with Ledger, so maybe they'll work some stuff out. And the car, basically, the idea is in the future you'll be able to drive up to a drive-through at Starbucks or something, and the car pays it, and you just keep going, right? You don't have to take out your credit card or anything like that. Then you go to the parking lot. You want to go to downtown, park your car. The car pays the parking spot, so it's kind of going to have this built-in wallet feature. I don't know anything about the if it's going to have self-driving or not, but the gull-wing doors are pretty cool. It has a 4-seater instead of, I think, the 2. The original has 2, so this one's a 4-seater, so you can fit some more people in it. And the production is set to go in about 2 to 3 years from now. So, like I said, right now the NFTs are cheap, so they're about 2,500 floor. You can find some for around 2,500, and then there's some, obviously earlier slots going for 5,000. So even that is still a bargain if you're willing to invest in the car. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. So the car also, the marketplace is, the NFT of the car itself is going to be tracking the miles, tracking the owners. So if you buy the DeLorean car and then you haven't even taken ownership of it yet, and somebody that has too much money makes you an offer, and you can just go buy another one, right? So it's going to give you the flexibility, and then the miles are going to be tracked. So all this, the service records is going to be tracked on the blockchain. So when somebody buys your car, they can see that it's been taken care of. They can see the mileage, and also as you're driving, so your data, I think they mentioned this. I'll correct it if I'm wrong. As you're driving the car, as you're owning the car, they're going to be taking the data from there. So you'll be earning DMC as you're driving the car. So that's my little spiel on the car, and I'll give it up to George.
Yeah, thank you. And again, I don't have any access to all the people in the room. So if you see anybody to pull up, by all means, please take care of that. Some other things on the marketplace that, as soon as I saw about it, I went and obviously checked it out. You're able to buy crypto with a debit card or Google Pay or Apple Pay or credit card or what have you, and they're on the marketplace. So, and it creates, you're able to upload. It puts you on the SUI chain, so you're going to have USDT, SUI USDT, or SUI. And I understand there have been some, I guess you could call sales or buys. So, I'm real excited about that part, that the mass adoption thing can be bridged in from going to the DeLorean marketplace. So, again, this is for me, not financial advice, but having a brand like this, a massive brand like this, and having a segue to come into crypto is just a huge thing. As far as the, Arthur mentioned a little bit about it. The way I think about it is having all the service records online. I think I read something a few weeks back that if you own a DeLorean and you submit, like you got an oil change or whatever it was, then that would be on the blockchain. And I think there's going to be incentives for the people to give the information. So this is, again, I say not financial advice a lot, but not financial advice, but I have just this gut feeling that years from now, this could be like the Carfax thing, where all the records of potentially other automakers as well could be on the blockchain. And, a long time crypto investor, or I'm more of a blockchain investor. to have things like this come to the blockchain just is what it was created for, honestly. Obviously decentralization, yes, but to have technology, and again, this is why I like SUI so much, to have technology, blockchain technology, where things like whatever it could be, medical records, whatever it is, can be on the blockchain there forever. Um, you mentioned, yeah, the 0 miles thing. If you get the car in production and your production slot is filled and you have the car, and let's just say you live in another country and there's 40% tariffs or whatever, you can have the car sit basically. And I'd heard this on a space from one of the team, I think. So you could literally have a car with 0 miles on it, and think how much that value would be with a collector, which I think it's more like 4,000 cars, but that's pretty cool. The transparent pricing, you can buy it with DMC. You can list it on the marketplace, so you're not going through a middleman that let's just say a used car dealer, nothing against them, but will give you, let's say, $80,000 for the car, and then they turn around and sell it for $130,000, just making up numbers, but you could sell it yourself for $130,000 and cut out the middleman. So, and it'll be transparent. So if there's bidding and that type of thing, then we'll call it supply and demand, and that type of thing. And just can't go over the fact that this will be the first ever on chain vehicle marketplace. So, big cheers to SUI for, in my opinion, in the John DeLorean spirit, they're pioneers. They're coming to blockchain. They're doing things on blockchain that can just help all of us with the entire industry and the entire industry. So it's so much ahead of its time, and it's again why I'm stacking SWE for launch, so I can hopefully get a real nice position here.
Go ahead, Evan. We got Evan here, the president of DeLorean Labs, about to jump on. How you doing?
Yeah, yeah, thank you. I was just listening to I guess a coach who was speaking earlier, and that was yeah, impressive. Seems like he's been listening to all the spaces, and it's kind of took the words right out of my mouth. And yeah, especially what he was saying about that people will be able to take the cars and hold them in free ports. I think especially nowadays with all the talk about tariffs going on, and the uncertainty here, that people, regardless of where they live in the world, will be able to pick up a vehicle and store it away, and preserve the value of it. But yeah, just yeah, wanted to step in here and kind of say hi to everyone. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, happy to chat and keep the conversation rolling.
So I had a
So,
question
Evan,
for you. Oh, sorry.
go ahead, Arthur. Go ahead.
I know a lot of people on here, what I want to be honest, just an honest question is, I know you guys are working so hard on the background. If you want to just talk about the grind that you guys are doing, not so much about what's coming up, but just maybe some struggles and, the light at the end of the tunnel that you see, from everything that's going on, especially you guys, a real company coming onto the blockchain. I know there's some more bars to set and all that. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think the main theme of the last few weeks has been dealing with the whole CETUS situation. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been following what's been going on there, and with the DMC token coming out and being in the SUI ecosystem, DEXs are just very, very important to tokens that launch in SUI. You can look at Walrus, for instance. If you go on Coin Market Cap and look at the markets, right now you'll see Bluefin as really driving the trading for Walrus. And previous to that, it was Cetus, and I guess Walrus, being one of the largest tokens on SUI, we see how important it is to have a really strong DEX partner. So, that has caused a bit of a delay in the token coming out, but we have been, taking all the meetings to meet with the various dexes and SUI, and make sure we pick a good partner for day one launch. And it's been going really well. There's some really good options out there, and yeah, so minor setback there, but with this type of stuff happening, we see the silver lining, and kind of very grateful in a way that this happened prior to us launching, because the uncertainty that this would have created had it happened right when we did launch would have been a challenge to deal with. So, and also with every hack that happens in an ecosystem, typically the ecosystems just get stronger. So all the other dexes are learning from what happened to Cetus. They're increasing their audits. There's a lot more money being spent on security now across the ecosystem. So I think this is only going to make the ecosystem stronger, and it's also bringing the communities together in support. So I hope that answers your question there. And then, yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's just full steam ahead with all the other exchanges that we've been talking to get ready for listing.
I've got some questions for you, Evan, as well. And look, bro, whatever, friend, or person I
Yep.
admire. I've listened to all of your speeches from the very first one, and obviously you guys have been out there, Consensus and ETH Toronto, and you just guys have been grinding Dubai, base camp. Um, first, how did you get to be involved in this? I didn't get to see a put in an application or anything. Not that I would beat you for it, but tell me about your love for the brand and why you're the guy and how it happened.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I guess I'll start first with my kind of journey in crypto to Web3 and how that whole thing starts. So originally I'm from Toronto, Canada, and co-founded a company called Coinberry. We became Canada's first regulated crypto brokerage. In that time, I grew the business to over $1 billion transacted volume and 250,000 registered KYC Canadian users. I had an exit there to WonderFi, which is a company backed by Kevin O'Leary, which has recently been acquired by Robinhood. And in the time at WonderFi, I also helped with some acquisitions, with CoinSquare, CoinSmart, helped grow WonderFi to be one of the largest Canadian platforms out there under the BitBuy brand. And so really been in crypto, I guess, what is that, 8 years, 8, 9 years at this point. And just something I'm obsessed with. And, in the whole, even when NFTs came out in 2021, 2022, like when that whole NFT bubble, I'll say, happened. Yeah, I just got really into the technology and the use cases, and then seeing how it can be applied to brands in various different ways. And then, one of my other big interests is brands and marketing. So with any business I'm involved in, I always lean more towards the marketing, branding side, building brands. And DeLorean is a brand that's been close to my heart. Ever since I watched the Back to the Future movies as a little kid, just loved the car and the design language. Yeah, I've always been a bit of a car person myself. So when the opportunity came around to merge my love of crypto and Web3 with cars and IP and branding, it was really just this opportunity I jumped at. And originally, I was brought in to consult based on my background in crypto, and just loved the team, loved the vision, loved the brand, and it was just became a no-brainer. Just got sucked in and been so excited, and I think this is just a once in a generational opportunity.
That's awesome. That's really cool to hear. You didn't just come in as some marketing guy that didn't know crypto. You've been in it a long time, so you've been in the trenches, the ups and the downs. So I'm sure you've got a lot you can share with the team on the rugs and the bounces and the Bitcoin roller coaster and all that stuff. That's really cool to hear. Uh, I'm going to ask you
Yeah,
a
I can
funny
say I'm yeah
question.
no stranger to the bear markets. And
Me either. Yeah.
that's actually one of the reasons I like DeLorean so much, and what we can do is I think we can create something that might be somewhat agnostic to the bear markets, just because the idea is building a car, whether crypto's in a bull or a bear market, there's still car buyers out there that are going to buy cars regardless. We also our vision for, all the merchandise that we want to bring to market, and even the value of what we can do with the IP. A lot of this has nothing to do with where the price of Bitcoin is, and what the other tokens are doing. So yeah, I really think we have an opportunity to do something special, and create something that may trade a little bit differently, is what my hopes are.
All right, I've got to ask you a funny question. I loved cars, but I didn't have cool cars. My first car was a Ford LTD that I got from my grandmama. So I'm not something I share with pride, but what would be one of your first cool cars that you own? Because I'd say I'm probably maybe your older brother or something like that, but there's probably some cool cars you had along the way.
Yeah, so, the first kind of cool car that I had to kind of celebrate a big win was a Porsche Cayman, and it was the sport version. It was kind of the last of the flat six engine. Really special car. The reason I gravitated towards that is I really like the vintage Porsches, like the older 80s or 90s 911s. So they're a much smaller body size, and over the years the 911 has just been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, where I feel the Cayman just kind of has a bit more of that vintage throwback body. And so yeah, gravitated towards that car. And yeah, it's just an incredible car. Fortunately, I sold it about 3 4 years ago, and regret that sale a little bit. But yeah, it was just a pleasure to drive.
That's cool. I had a feeling you would have an answer like that. Um, So yeah, I never had
Yeah.
anything that cool. That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
Another question. I mean, obviously, just from the movie and the brand and all, I mean, I would think merch sales have been, amazing. Yeah, we have here Pudgy Penguins who's doing the merch thing into Walmart and everything, but I would think the future of merch could be a really big thing. And what I wanted to ask you about, more importantly, is DeLorean's a U.S. company, and with all the things that the U.S. is talking about, like with Trump wanting U.S. companies and more acceptance of crypto, what do you feel are some of the benefits of actually being a U.S. company? And I'm not trying to exclude the world, but just would like to hear some of your opinions from maybe you or the team, or how they're feeling about manufacturing cars in the U.S. and all of that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to manufacturing, and where that's going to happen, I think there's a lot up in the air when it comes to the climate and the tariffs. And if we can find a way to manufacture in the U.S., that's obviously going to be ideal. Uh, but I think more so, it's just the culture in the U.S. There's just a great culture around cars, and just IP. Like the US is one of those, becoming one of the few big markets in the world that honors IP, respects it, and kind of allows the creators of it to earn the value from it, where we're seeing some other places in the world where IP just doesn't have that value. So I think that's a huge thing for the American culture, and one of the things that makes us proud to be associated with the U.S. and that. Myself, growing up in Canada and stuff, I always had wished I was born in the US, or gravitated towards things that are American. And I was always a big baseball fan growing up, and basketball, and so I'd always see my favorite teams in the US or favorite players playing there. So I always had a gravitational pull towards US culture, and things like DeLorean.
Cool. Well, I'm Coach George. I coached football for 17 years, and I've got players in the NFL, so that's my favorite sport. But I follow sports and love sports, so that's really cool. So appreciate it. I mean, if anybody else has questions, obviously feel free to do so. I could talk to you for freaking 2 hours, man. It
Uh,
just is what it is. I love picking brains.
But yeah, we'll have to
Yeah,
do this more often.
yeah, and
yeah.
I'm also gonna. Sorry, I'm also gonna be posting this on Spotify and YouTube, so it'll be easier to share. I know some spaces get lost, so I think that's gonna be a little different and try to help promote the brand a little bit. So whether you want to speak now or chime in later, I will be posting this on Spotify.
Great, thank you.
Evan, I do have a question. If you can maybe trick us a little bit of alpha. I know you can stake the build slots. I think is that like a 3. Are the time capsules like able to stack?
You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
He's rugging. He's rugging. Yeah.
So if
Sorry,
I understand correctly,
I'm 2 seconds.
I think there was a
Okay, can you
question
guys hear me
there
now?
about if you. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Can
The
hear you now.
staking multiplier is like a 3x on the build slots, and like I think two is tossed around for the holding the time capsules. My question was, are the time capsules like stackable?
So as far as I know, they won't be stackable. But anything can change between now and then. But yeah, I think if it becomes stackable, it's just gonna eat into their staking rewards pool a bit too much.
That makes sense. Thank you for the clarity.
All right. I have to ask one more question. Just since you work for DeLorean Labs, do you get a company car?
Um, I'm sure there's going to be something I'll be able to drive around to represent the brand. But I mean, for myself, like I spent so much time on the road and traveling, as you can imagine, that I just don't get that much time to drive anywhere. So it's yeah,
But
but I'm sure. Yeah.
you drove the OG DeLorean. I've seen you in it. So
Yep. Yep.
uh,
Yeah.
I would
Fair.
consider. I don't know if you're married, but that would be a chick magnet, and I would love to be shotgun. Just one time, and I'm married, just to feel cool, right?
Yeah, 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 and I'm sure there'll be I'll have opportunities to drive the car around and take it to events and all that, and yeah, just definitely looking forward to owning a new DeLorean of my own, and also I'm in the market for a classic DeLorean of my own, because the one I've been in is a company car. So, but yeah, would love to have a classic of my own as well.
Thank you. All right, future conferences and stuff. I mean, you guys have been just. I don't even see how you're even standing and able to talk right now with all the conferences you've been at. But I'm sure you'll have some presence, maybe some upcoming conferences you guys may be at for people to
Yep.
meet.
Definitely. Yep. We're potentially there could be an ETCC in the future. And then definitely going to be doing all the major Asian conferences starting in the fall. So, we're looking at Korea Blockchain Week, Token 2049, Singapore, all those big ones. So, yeah, I find, this year, like July, August is looking a bit quieter on the conference schedule. But yeah, definitely the fall is going to be very busy, and looking forward to saying hi to people and meeting people at all the various events.
What does the karate
And
schedule
yeah,
look like?
so there's as far as I know, Karate Combat has a permanent venue now in Miami for a lot of their fights. So typically we try and stick to the ones that overlap with major crypto conferences. And at the moment, there's just a lot less overlap than there was in previous years. So it's not going to be as many events that we're as part of as in the past.
Art Basel time?
Uh, Potentially, yeah. It'll either be around Art Basel or also Abu Dhabi, BTC Abu Dhabi happens around that time too. So we might have to split the team up between events. So, but yeah, we'll have a better understanding closer to as to where we're going to be allocating most of our time then. So yeah,
Exciting
just looking at
stuff.
the time, I have to jump off the top of the hour, but it was great being here and chatting, and would love to be part of something like this in the future.
Thanks, Evan, for coming in.
Thank you, Evan, and everybody in this room follow Evan. Okay, this guy should
Thank you.
have 200. This guy should have 200,000 followers, minimum. So everybody in the room follow Evan. He's working hard for this brand. He's working hard for DMC, and let's support this guy. And really, thank you for coming in today. This is a community space, and to have the president of DeLorean Labs come in means a lot to us. And just wishing you the best of luck and help as you continue with this journey. We're looking forward to launch. Peace, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Wow, that was a treat. That was a
yeah.
treat. I mean, we run a community space. Arthur, thank you again for deciding to do this. But for Evan to come up and speak, that was just such a blessing. It shows you how much he's invested and the whole team is invested in DMC. I am, again, not financial advice, but to have a brand like this coming into crypto, coming into SUI, I just, this is just my personal opinion. People are going to buy DeLorean, buy DMC. There's going to be traders. There's going to be people that, are in it to sell it or whatever you have, be it some of the airdrop pre-sale people or what have you. But this thing's going to be around a long time. And in my opinion, if they sell DeLorean and want to buy something else, then here comes Walrus and Lofi and Toilet Dust and Ika and all of these projects are going to benefit. So, not investment advice, but SUI, in my opinion, where I'm going, it's the place to be. And Adenia at Iman, somebody posted up for it, but you should follow this guy. He really knows what's going on. You can tell the guy's been in big real world companies. I think came from Facebook, high level, and the way they handled the CETUS thing just shows you again. You've got company experience, business people. I've owned companies that have years of running companies, marketing, conflict resolution, you name it. To have people with this type of business sense and reach, having people like Michael Saylor do a tweet with a DeLorean in it, having Patrick Stewart from Star Trek doing tweets, Christopher Lloyd on videos. I mean, everything's just top notch. And I'm just too excited. I have to talk about it. It is what it is. Invest what you want, and be careful to go all in. But thank you again, Evan, for coming up. And Arthur, let's pick this thing back up.
I did want to talk a little bit about the CETUS hack before we start bringing other speakers in. When you move Bitcoin, I don't know if you guys ever moved a whole Bitcoin through their network, and it takes forever. And when you send it and you're waiting hours to see it pop up on the other side, you get nervous, and there's nobody there to protect you. And then when it finally comes through, man, you start to breathe again. And Sui, the way they handled the CETUS hack was awesome. And you kind of want something like that. I know we talk about decentralization and all that, but you kind of want to be a little secure with your money, especially when you're putting, some people do put in their hard-earned money in there, and to just get it taken away by somebody that can hack it is not fun. And then when you send money from one wallet to another, it goes pretty much instantly. I've sent the same amount of Bitcoin I did with Sui, and it popped up like in a minute or less. So that's another awesome thing about Sui. And then maybe in another space, I'll talk about how much I spent moving that Bitcoin, and you guys will probably be shocked what I paid to move it. It's a lot. So Sui is like a fraction, of the cost. So another positive thing about the Sui network. If you want to add something, Furry, or we can start bringing up some speakers.
Yeah, you work on the speaker part again. I can't see access to it, but and maybe I talk too much, but hey, whatever. It's what I do. I like speaking on spaces. I love interacting with communities and stuff. Um, Partnerships, some of the partnerships, talked about working together, and that's what I love about Sui as well. It's all these projects not fighting each other but partnering. Some of the partnerships, I got this off the website, but first partners would obviously be Sui Foundation and Miston Labs. You've got Animoca Brands, which you probably recognize Sandbox, the metaverse, Motiverse, digital racing and vehicles, Delphi Digital, high level digital research, Karate Combat. They already mentioned something about that. MMA fighting, Readyverse Studios, Metaverse and Games, MoonPay, one of the processors that you can buy crypto with your credit card. So some pretty strong partnerships. I want to call out my friend Dream Media. He's done a great job with the marketing here, and by all means, follow Dream Media. I think it's the Shib Dream account. You've probably seen that. He's real involved in the marketing of this, so you're going to see a lot of tweets and posts. Excuse me, and it's apparent that we're all working together. So I see him interact with a lot of the lofies and the ecas and the toilet dust, and I'm going to leave somebody out. By all means, bring up some speakers so they can talk about their stuff. But that's just something I wanted to mention. I'm just looking through my notes. Obviously, yeah, get your wallets if you're new. Slush Wallet seems to be the the go-to, so to speak. Phantom, they've got it where you can interact. I was able to do that as soon as I heard about it. I went transferred some Soul to Phantom. I did a post a few weeks back on that how to. When you go to switch, it's going to try to make you go for Solana projects, and you have to actually pick on the Sui chain when you pick the coin that you're gonna or token that you're gonna switch for, and then that gives you the option to switch Solana to Sui. Not financial advice, but that was a really cool thing for me where I was able to bring some other money in and invest in some of these NFT projects that are doing such a great job. The hack, the CETUS hack, yeah, to see how Adina came in, David from Lofi, and ran a space. I mean, within hours of when it happened, fully transparent. it turned into big decentralization versus centralization. Well, I've been involved in discussions on spaces about that for years to see that you could have the validators go in and stop the hack and save millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, and then let the community vote on it. I'm pro that. Okay. The people are getting their money back, and it's not like some one guy did it. It's they were able to reach to the validators and they were able to come to a consensus. So that may be and that, again, who knows? We can have discussions about that all day long. I've always leaned towards wanting to have decentralization by having it within the industry versus having the governments come in and make all the rules and regulations. But I do feel personally, again, this is just my personal opinion, we need some type of regulation to stop these hackers and these scammers and penalize them for some of these thefts. I've lost thousands of dollars from hackers. So this is something I feel real strongly about. Again, maybe I shouldn't be talking about on a space.
No, it's all good. I mean, everybody works hard for the money. You don't want to just get it taken away. Rita, did you want to go ahead and speak? Rita, are you there?
Hit your mic button if you have it.
What about Thankful? Go ahead, Thankful.
Hi, hey everyone, it's great to be here today. I'm Saiful Islam, but most of you know me online as Lazy Sham. I have been in the crypto space since 2021, and over the years, I have been seeing hundreds of projects rise and fall. But the moment I came across DeLorean, I felt something different. It wasn't just a project, it was a vision I could believe in, one that connects the past, the future, and the power of Web3. DeLorean isn't just a car brand, it's a symbol, a legacy of innovation, imagination, and going beyond limits. We all remember the time traveling DMC 12 from pop culture, but now DeLorean is making a real world return. This time, not just with a car, but with a mission to build an ecosystem powered by blockchain, community, and creativity. And that's what makes this so special. We are not just watching a comeback, we are part of it. So let's talk about DNC, the core of the ecosystem. This isn't just another token, this is utility, identity, and access. With GMC, we are going to trade in the DeLorean marketplace, unlock rewards, experiences, and exclusive parts. Engage in ownership that actually means something. And right now, we are in a powerful moment. Airdrop, redemption, token listing, all happening this month. That's not hype, that's momentum. We are turning belief into action step by step. People ask me, why are you supporting DeLorean every day? Why do you tweet, post, create? The answer is simple because I see leadership with vision, a team that communicates, and a community that actually builds together. I have been part of so many projects that promised everything and delivered nothing. But here, every week there is progress. Spaces, visuals, roadmap, steps, we are seeing it unfold in real time. And that's why I'm here for the long run. I want to highlight the DeLorean community, one of the most passionate and talented groups I have ever seen. We have got artists making incredible fan art. We have got creators making videos, memes, stories. We have got people jumping into spaces, tweeting daily, building this brand with love. And the best part, the DeLorean team sees us, the uplift creators. They value the community. That's how you build a movement, not just a brand. It's not just about the car, it's about what we are creating together. Now let's look ahead. We are not just here for nostalgia, we are building something futuristic, a marketplace with real world use, tokenized vehicles and experiences, a digital and physical brand that crosses into culture, fashion, music, and more Web3 needs real brands, real experiences, and real utility. DeLorean is bringing all three, and we got to ride the journey from the ground up. So I just want to say I'm proud to be part of this journey. I post every day not for cloud, not for likes, but because I believe in this vision. DMC isn't just a token, it's a movement. And every tweet, every post, every word pushes it forward. To the team, to the holders, to the community, let's keep showing up, keep building, and keep driving this future together. DeLorean isn't just coming back, we are redefining what's next. Thank you, Arthur. Thank you, DeLorean, for everything.
No, thanks for your kind words about the project. Um, Ritu, can you hear me, Ritu? Did you want to come on?
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak. Actually, I don't have any questions, but I always try my best to contribute. Also, I agree with you, and I think everyone should know more about the Delirium, especially for those like me who have the opportunity to be an ambassador, as like others' position in this ongoing projects. Because only when I know accurate and detailed information, then I can share it with others, and it will be fruitful for marketing uh, and popularity, increasing popularity. Actually, my goal is to increase communication and spread it to more people. I feel proud to be a part of the project. Not at all at this moment. Uh, Thank you so much, dear honorable team, especially author and team, honorable team, Delusion, Evan. Uh, Thank you so much, everyone, to give me the best opportunity to speak with you.
No, thank you for coming in, Ritu, and sharing that. MUK, I don't know how to pronounce your name. If you
Yeah,
want to
but
come
so my network is so down today. I had some question to Ivan, but he's gone now. Damn, bro. Actually, I had some question on the current market situation because we all do know about the online war of Trump and Elon. So don't know how much is gonna be affected on the MC loans or how much is gonna be affected on Sui community. Like the other loans is coming, the other TZ is on the way. So we do have to find out the best way to recover.
All right, I'll jump on that one. I don't make financial predictions, so it's kind of all up to each of us. I don't like the fact that the Trump and Elon thing was public. Personal opinion. I was on another space talking about that. But if if you believe crypto's here to stay, then you know do your research and find projects that you believe in. For me, it's DMC and several other things. Um, the pointers I give because I've been rugged, I've been hacked, and all of those things is try to keep a little bit of fiat on the side. Keep your eyes on the chart, keep your eyes on the news. Um, try to have a stable portfolio, maybe a trading portfolio. I've been a trader for years and years and years, but I don't just trade. I have a set percentage of tokens that I trade, a set percentage that I hodl, and try to look for exit strategies. So I'm tired of seeing people rugged over these past few years. So, I don't want everybody to win. Nothing goes up forever. So, and we've got big institutions in. So don't think there's probably some manipulation going on, but don't invest more than you can afford to lose. Bottom line. And if you believe in crypto and blockchain technology and communities that make you feel at home and places that you can hang out and feel good about life and still yet touch grass, then do so. Again, I'm an older generation, but I believe in diversifying assets. I'm not just in crypto. In stocks and bonds. I have treasuries. I have cash on the side, dividend stocks. Save your money over time. Don't go all in. DCA and compound interest, and that's how you build wealth. Not financial advice, but it's worked for me. And I've, you know, wins and losses. You're going to have them. So, we saw obviously a big dip yesterday. News always, or I'll say always, generally causes moves in the markets because we're emotional. Try not to get overly emotionally attached to news. Like for me personally, the thing that happened yesterday, and then boom, I saw Sui drop down below $2 or $3. I made buys. I call it the Robin Hood effect because a token I was involved in several years ago was announced. It was listed on Robin Hood, and it shot up a big green candle, and I took profits. So doesn't mean my way's the right way, but news plays a huge role in this market. Manipulation by big money plays a huge role. Now that we've got the ETFs and Black Rocks and Greystones in here, 10 years ago it was, oh, it's just digital code. Now you've got countries and states and institutions coming in. So I feel like crypto's here forever. If I'm wrong, then, I go broke on this part, but that's just some general pointers I can give. Maybe practice learning to chart and look for bull flags or channels and things like that. And that's more from the trading side, but there are a lot of things you can do to grow in this industry and learn from others and from your research, and look for what is your strategy and try to stick by it, not be too emotional. And this is just, experience. That's all it is. It's not some roadmap for success or anything like that. But, be careful. Influencer come in and says, buy this, and then don't sell it, don't sell it, don't sell it. Well, they might be selling it while they're telling you to hold it. So, set a strategy, whatever it is. For me personally, maybe I shouldn't share this, but I keep notes of things. So when I see weird blips, I go back 3 months ago to see what happened. I have notes on maybe what the news was that time. I actually do a thread. Not that anybody reads it because I'm not some influential guy, but I've been tracking since October the total market cap. And if you go back through those posts, and you'll see, where the market cap went from, let's just say 2.8 to 3.3 trillion dollars, and there's some kind of news that's attached to it, or dips. So pay attention to news, world news, that type of thing. Ask that you don't do like me and sit in front of the charts all the time. Spend some time with your families, and let's just all go to the moon here, guys. You know, some of you young people can maybe make a lot more money than it took me decades, but that's just some personal stuff. And I will give a market update. I generally do this when I speak on a space. The total market cap when I took the notes this morning was 3.27 trillion. Bitcoin was over 104,000. It had dropped down. It's probably changed since I've been on the space. SWI is the 12th largest crypto in the entire crypto space. and I call it 10 because USDT and USDC are part of those top 100s. So to me, I believe it's one of the fastest growing L1s there is. Uh, it's got over this morning $1.29 billion in daily volume. When I saw that thing go over 1 billion, I'm like, holy cow, this is big. This is really happening, and people are coming in. And then, you got to be careful because people are coming in. So really do your research, because don't be surprised if some of the scammers or the ruggers are here. But know that in SWE, we're early. This thing's like only a year old, and there's some brilliant minds in here, and there's some amazing communities here that are building for. I mean, look at Walrus. I mean, they're building for sort of just massive storage of data. And Tusky doesn't even have a token or anything. But I watched a Denny video with them a few weeks back, and you could go in and you could have files that you store securely on the ecosystem, on the chain. And I'm real invested in the NFT musicians, and you could have like a token gated access to where you could come in and you could maybe have a meetup or play a song for some of your investors and things like that. Speed. It's there's so many builders that are building blockchain solutions in this SWE network, and I just I can't speak enough about it. And yeah, I mean I'm a homer, I guess you would say, but I've also invested in other things. So that's your market update for today. We're early.
Bitcoin Barbie, did you want to come up?
Oh, she was the one that was in the car video thing I saw another day. She knows her stuff on that.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, if anybody else wants to come up, Bitcoin Barbie, you're up.
Hey there.
I have one more question to Althal. So, are you going for the DMC 12 or the Alpha 5?
Both. You got to get both. Go ahead.
You are trying to get the vote.
Go ahead, Bitcoin Barbie.
What about the plasma tail?
Can you guys hear me? Testing. Am I working?
We can
Can
hear you, but it's
barely
kind of
hear you.
far.
Okay,
It's like your
let me take
voice.
it out. Let me take it out.
Waiting to see you with the DMC 12 and Alpha 5.
Yeah, if you had a time machine, this is the time you would want to come to. Hurry, you got anything?
I do help.
So everybody knows Arthur's never run a space before, and then I'm supposed to be co-host, helping with everything, and I wasn't able to do that. So big shout out to you, bro. So you have been baptized into running spaces, and Furry thanks you for coming up and being co-host as well. Hopefully you were doing some of that. Uh, if we can't get people to come up, and by all means, there's never such thing. I remember when I first came on speakers, and even today, my palms were sweaty and I was nervous, but there's no such thing as a stupid question. So always feel free to request that mic, come up and speak, as long as you're not some troll or something like that, and ask questions and get involved in communities. It's one of the best places to learn from other people. I did was given the go ahead on some alpha today that I'm going to share. Uh, DMC will launch in June. So I know they said second quarter. Well, it is going to launch in June. So start stacking your bags. And I even heard them talking about some possible exchanges. So there's probably maybe some opportunities as well. But I'll be doing it on the Slush wallet. personally.
Yeah, we got Bitcoin and Barbie. You want to try again?
Yeah, how you doing? Can you hear me now?
Yep, we can hear
Yes,
you.
no? Okay, perfect. Sorry guys, Mexican Wi-Fi here. I'm just wanted to, chat about the Sui comment that Coach G made. By the way, what's up, Coach? That being said, it's really interesting to watch something like Sui happen again. I was someone who got into like Solana very early, and so to like watch these starting points for these projects, right? Um, never did I think like Solana would be, where it is. And despite the fact that something like Pump Fund exists and we've got the casino happening right now, the truth of the matter is that this specific chain, in terms of Solana, has done uh, way more than I think most of us thought it would at the beginning. And now we're just seeing like the same thing with Sui. We're seeing that momentum building. We're seeing things being tested, new types of use case being tested on Sui, and I'm just excited. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like when people are like, oh, I wish I would have got into this and this at the very beginning. Like, this is their chance. So I don't know. That's all. I just wanted to add my own opinion.
I've heard you a lot. You're smart, girl. And shout out to all the women in crypto, right? So, I grew up with a bunch of sisters, and so I've been surrounded by women all my life. And in my businesses, the girls get it done. The guys pick up the heavy shit, but the girls get it done. And so I'm excited for you to come up and speak today. And, by all means, follow Bitcoin Barbie. Come on, guys, gals. Let's support these women. And they had a really good presence out at Bitcoin in Vegas this past week. And I mean, I'm the first to admit, and look, I've been married for years. My wife's smarter than I am. My sisters are smarter than I am. I'm a degen, and ladies just have it together. So, yeah, maybe you're emotional, but you're also very, very smart. So, anyway, enough of my ranting about how wonderful women are. My daughter's the best person I've ever met, other than my wife.
Excuse me, can we have more men that just love their wives and their families like this? This is inspiring. Every man needs to take note. If you are not already in a relationship, aspire to be in that kind of love situation. Because, damn, he just said, my wife and my daughter are the best people I know.
Props to the host. Go ahead, Furry. I know you were going to say something.
So, hello guys, GM everyone, welcome everyone. So, I don't have any question, but I want to say something little about DeLorean Labs. So, we are hearing the vision firsthand in this armor just hit different. DeLorean is not just a building hyper, they are building a history. So, Web3 need culture, utility, and the story, and DMC is driving all three like time machine through the future. So we are not going back. So this is wake up call. The DMC Garrett is not about cast, it is about conviction culture. So and the catching the next web before it goes at MPH. So that is all. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. Say if anybody else wants to come up, go ahead and ask. I think Sinful just came up. Did you want to say something? So, Coach, what was your favorite part of the movie on Back to the Future?
Oh boy. Probably this you'll crack up at this, but when Marty made the skateboard and Biff was chasing him around and he ran into the dump truck and all the cow manure fell on Biff. That was a like hero moment for me, honestly. And just the whole time travel thing and all of that, but just everything about it. I mean, I don't if I got in a trivia contest and movie trivia, I know Back to the Future, Forrest Gump, and just a few more tear jerkers, Meg Ryan type stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is literally one of my top 5 movies of all time. We could talk about that for 3 hours.
Yeah, and I just wanted to emphasize that, that movie, the reason I like this, because, George McFly, you always want him to stand up for himself. And it just gets under your nerves. And then, you're like, stand up for yourself, man. And then Marty McFly tries to. And, sometimes you just got to stand up, take those hits, man. But, that's why I liked it, because we always try to push ourselves. You're watching the movie trying to push George McFly, but sometimes we reflect that on our own lives and try to push it. It's just like making this face, took the initiative to do it, but I had to push myself to do it. So it's kind of why I like all the whole sequels. It's kind of talking about pushing yourself a little bit. I think somebody just came up.
Real
Mesh.
quick,
Yes.
before
Go ahead.
because I have really short memory because of my age. That reminded me. There's a contest going on right now. Find the Gibson. There was a Gibson 345 that Michael J. Fox played Johnny B. Good on at the Enchantment of the Seas dance, and it's been gone for like 40 years. So I think it's maybe Gibson or Back to the Future. Somebody has a contest going on. Maybe we can post that up or I'll post it later. But you can call a number or go in and give your, projections or what have you to find that guitar. And I'm sure there'll be some really cool prize on that. So that's again, there's just millions of people that are seeing these articles out there, and this Find the Gibson contest is going on right now. So hopefully somebody can help. I want to win the guitar. I play guitar. So I've always wanted a Gibson.
It's awesome. MS, you want to come up?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool, perfect. So I'm new here. I've been following Ika and Walrus Protocol, so I came across DeLorean Labs sort of by accident from Ika's page. So just curious what it's all about. Yeah, what's DeLorean Labs about? What's the goal? And how to participate.
Well, one, maybe go back and listen to this space because we've gone over a lot of it. But their main goal is to be a real world company that's coming to the blockchain and having a marketplace and where you can actually buy cars with crypto and exposure for the industry and exposure for using the brand. I mean, this will be the biggest brand that's on crypto other than Bitcoin for people that have never been in crypto or going to come in and say, okay, I'm going to come in, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. What next? Well, they're not going to know what Pepe is. And I'm not dogging Pepe because it's been very successful or, other things like that. But they're going to recognize the brand. And the brand, in my opinion, is going to bring people to crypto, and that's what we all want is mass adoption. So you've got a token that's going to be able to use to buy a slot for one of the first 2,000, 4,000 cars, whatever it is. You're going to have a token where you can trade that slot. You're going to be able to buy cars with it. You're going to have service records on the blockchain. So you've got a giant real world company that's coming into blockchain. And in my opinion, I think other countries or other companies are probably going to watch this closely. And if it's successful, then you might see more big companies come into crypto. And hey, that's going to pump all of our bags, not financial advice.
I think you should also check out the Telegram and Discord. A lot of time capsule holders in there just like to hang out. And if you have any questions with
Okay.
that, let me know, and then we can help you out.
Yeah, cool. Thank you very much.
Anybody else have anything to say, or should we get close to ending this thing?
Maybe we can just go ahead and wind this thing down, Arthur. I'm so it sounds weird to say proud of, because you know, we're equals brothers here. But for you to put together this space is awesome. That you would take the initiative means so much, and now you again have been baptized for running spaces. So hopefully you'll run some more in the future. Um, Something I don't do very often. Do you mind if I play a song
We got a couple more
before we
people.
go out?
You wanna? We got Jaggerman in here. You wanna let him talk?
Okay, perfect. And pick somebody to go through if there's in the comments to find that winner, so we can give away that NFT as well.
What's happening, guys?
What's up, Jaggerman?
How are you? This has been one hell of a space.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
One hell of a space. I haven't really got too much to talk about. You guys have covered pretty much every point, but I just wanted to say thank you because it was an awesome space. And Coach, you gave out some awesome information there. A lot of it went over my head, but you obviously know what you're talking about, and that was a lot of information to take in. So that was appreciated, bro. And also, I'm super excited because I just bought myself another time capsule.
Bro, I appreciate that. That's what we're supposed to do in the human race, is help each other out where we can, right? So I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a hell of a lot of information. I'm not a day trader. I'm more of a hodler, you know. So I'll just put in what I can when I can. So yeah, that was a good little lesson. That was a good little lesson. But super excited for DMC. There's nothing I can add to it. Nothing I can add to everything that you guys have said. I just wanted to jump on and say great space. And yeah, awesome hearing Evan, seeing DeLorean down there in the crowd as well.
No, that was a real treat. And thanks, Jaggerman. I know you're kind of active on Telegram. If you guys want to follow Jaggerman, he is good. So if you're new to the DeLorean and you're just kind of finding out about it, follow Jaggerman. Get on the Telegram and Discord. He likes to help people out, especially if you're new. If you have any issues finding how to get a time capsule on Tradeport, or if you have any questions regarding the project, we can answer those there as well. And then I think we have Christ coming up. Is that Chris?
Yeah, hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Awesome. Hey, my name is Eric. I'm completely newbie to this, and I appreciate the other guys in there that said they're new too. I'm in Ohio. I stumbled upon DeLorean Labs last year when they were doing the time capsule, and thankfully was able to get one, which then opened up to 2000 DMC. What do I do next? What's the next step? And I appreciate the advice for newbies and stuff like that. And when I get home, I'm gonna bookmark and get in there. But do you have any advice on as what to do next?
You saying regarding the time capsule that you have that is 2000 DMC?
Yeah.
So they haven't officially announced it, but you will be airdropped the 2000 DMC when they're getting ready to launch. So as for now, all you got to do is hold it and just wait for that redemption process, which is going to be happening.
So
in
just
this,
hang tight.
yeah, just hang tight. Yep. And
awesome. Okay.
I do actually have, I know it's a bit generic, but I've got a copy paste message which I often send to a few people who how to describe it. It's kind of layered, right? Like you buy the NFT, or maybe you were part of the pre-sale, and then if you're not familiar with SUI and Tradeport, so I've basically got a copy paste message which just tells you exactly what to do, which I'm happy to send over if that
That's
helps.
awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, no worries, bro. I'll do that. I'll do that in a minute.
I think the floor is like 42. It was when I looked this morning too. 42 sweet. Not
It
saying
got up
get rid
over
of it.
50 the other week.
Hi. Hi.
Hello, Jill.
Hey.
I'm Netherlands.
So, Chris, how do you say what was your name again? Because your handle says Chris, but you say your name was different, right?
Yeah, my name's Eric. That's an old username, Christ Centered.
Oh.
But yeah, Eric.
How did you hear about the DeLorean?
Well, I grew up. I was born in the '80s, raised in the '90s. So DeLorean has always been a part of the brand, the car, the movie, everything. And I ended up doing a house clean out, and they actually had an original DeLorean in the garage. And I started looking up prices and values on it, and stumbled across DeLorean Labs. And click, click, click. One thing led to another, and I'm like, "What is this?" And so just kind of went down a whole rabbit hole.
It's awesome. Curiosity, man. Sometimes it leads you to a good place.
Yeah.
Welcome to the rabbit hole, bro. And look, thanks for asking to come up. People are scared to do that, and you just showed that you could come up and ask questions. And thanks for sharing your story. And just appreciate you. And again, room. If somebody's got the balls or whatever the girls have to come up and speak, follow them. Everybody likes to be followed. We all like to be recognized. So, and you make some good friends. He sounds like a pretty good dude from Ohio, right? Don't give away your private keys, Chris. And don't click on links that look like free shit or support because you have questions. Be real careful so your wallet will get drained. Security, I do talk about this, and yes, I talk too much. But if you're going to buy something new, create a new wallet, and so you don't have all your assets susceptible. So, like if I'm going to buy something new, I'll create a new wallet. Let's just say with I'll move a few SWI over into that wallet, and then I'll make that purchase. And that way, if it was somehow some malicious wallet drainer, it's only going to get that which is in that wallet, not my main wallet. There's some advice for you, brother.
Appreciate that. What's the? Did I see something recently where SUI merged with Stash, or is it vice versa? Or can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the two wallets became Slush. So Stashed was like an email-based wallet, and Sui was like another type of wallet, and they just kind of combined each other, and now they're just Slush. So you might see your wallet be, everybody kind of migrated over to the Slush wallet.
All right, cool. Thanks.
I think we got Amir coming up. Amir, you there?
Hello guys, hello everyone, and the DeLorean team. I really appreciate your work, the work you guys are doing. Really love the team. They are very supportive. The mods on the Telegram. Guys, I had one question. Am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I had one question that I have been asking in the Telegram group for a very long time. Whoever is holding the time capsule, are they gonna get an additional airdrop the one that is mentioned.
You're talking about the token airdrops?
Yeah, the token airdrop, the DMC airdrop.
Yeah, once they're getting ready to launch this month. So once they're ready, for sure, I'm not sure if it's going to be a few days or how it's going to work, but once they release that information, they will be airdropping the tokens to the time capsule holders. And for the new people, you can see how much DMC is on it. If you look at I don't remember if it's the bottom left or the bottom right, it'll tell you how much DMC, because there's some out there that have 8,800 as well.
So what I was asking, will there be another additional airdrop except the mentioned one?
There's not been any official amounts, not been any announcement about it. I mean, they've given away airdrops, so I don't know if you got on it at the beginning. You pretty much have a cost basis of 0, but if you've had one for quite a while, you've gotten several airdrops, so it should have paid for itself. So, don't take this wrong, but buy DMC at launch if you believe in it.
Yeah, and as
Okay,
Sui,
okay.
as Sui partners with more people, it seems like kind of the Sui community has been airdropping each other, trying to support each other's teams. So we had the Ika drop here a couple of weeks ago. So we don't know if there's any future airdrops, but that's why we all hold, just to be ready if there was any airdrops. Do you have any other questions?
No, thank you. Still gonna hold on to my time capsules. By the way, love your work, guys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming up. We got Rouston.
Hello. Yes. Thank you. I have my time capsule from way back when it first minted and stuff, and I forget what put me on it, but I remember that a point where I was trying to claim some DMC or something, but I couldn't do it because I was in the U.S. I don't know if that's still the case. And when my time capsule was revealed, I was given DMC claim, but I don't know if I can claim it because I'm in the US or not. And also, I was curious about why you chose Sui as the chain. And what I want most from this is a virtual DeLorean that I can use in the metaverse. Is there going to be a way in the future to potentially purchase a virtual DeLorean with DMC?
So we don't work directly with DeLorean. We're just ambassadors. So you could. There's a couple of spaces of them talking about why they chose Sui, and it's obviously because of their speed and the capacity that they can handle for gaming and for the auto industry as well. That's why they chose Sui, just because it's so robust. And if you have a time capsule, there hasn't been a redemption period just yet. So just make sure you follow DeLorean and don't be clicking on any links that claim to be telling you that you can claim your DMC tokens, because you don't have to really claim anything. I think they'll be airdropped, but once they release that kind of news, we'll all be sharing it for sure.
Cool, thank you. Any knowledge about virtual DeLoreans?
I'll piggyback on it. This is not anything official. They haven't said anything about that, but I do my research. When you have a partnership with somebody, and this doesn't mean this is going to happen. This is just things that I look at in my research. When you have a partnership with someone like Motorverse that does digital racing and vehicles, that could be, could not be. I don't
That's
know.
right.
You
That's how
know.
I got on board. And you just reminded me. I'm part of Motorverse with the Lamborghini, so I assumed that signing up for the DeLorean would eventually get me one of those. So
I don't
hopefully,
know,
fingers.
yeah, I don't know, and they may or they may not. I have no idea. I think Shib, when their metaverse opened, they had the DeLorean sitting at the hub when it first started. So I would say the capability of having a digital DeLorean has at least been shown, but I don't know. Is Readyverse Studio going to have a metaverse and have DeLorean? I don't know, but
So
they're on chain.
so the
They're
meta
on chain.
so the Motorverse does have 4 DeLorean NFTs. I know. I think I seen one for sale on the trade port, but we don't know if there's going to be any more for other people to buy in later. I think there's only 4 that they gave away from the time capsule reveal. There's maybe 1 or 2 for sale, and I know you'll be able to use it on the Motorverse platforms. So things like Drift 2 and another one. Like I said, I seen also those Lamborghinis for sale, but I don't know if they're going to be launching the car at scale in the future. So if you're able to buy that NFT, I think there's one on Tradeport, or just wait until it's all full active and the game comes out. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I had a just to add on to that. Like if anybody's watched the movie Ready Player One, where he grabs the DeLorean and puts it in the race, I think that'd be cool in the future, like especially with the VR space and things like that. But could you also touch on if this is a U.S. base or international base only? I think somebody else asked a question about it. And I was just curious since I'm in Ohio and just want to make sure.
Give that to you, Coach.
Well, I'm not sure I quite understand the question, but currently, DeLorean Motor Company is a U.S. based company, so that's all I can say. And crypto is a worldwide um, space ecosystem. So I don't quite understand the context of your question, but hopefully that gives you some general idea, maybe, of what you're trying to find out.
Because I think there was just someone else that mentioned, and I thought I saw somewhere where it said not for U.S. residents or something like that. I'm still driving on the way home, but I'll have to look again. But that's what red flagged it.
Maybe you're thinking about the pre-sale. They did a pre-sale with Republic, which was not available to U.S. investors. So maybe that's what you're thinking about. I don't know.
That's probably.
And again, disclaimer. I'm just a dude that's in crypto. I don't work for DeLorean. None of us here on the speaker panel work for. So follow DeLorean Labs and follow Evan and those folks, and follow Dream Media. And maybe you'll see official announcements on things that are coming. Gosh, they got to have stuff in the plans. This freaking DeLorean. They've been around for 40 years. They know how to market. They know how to run businesses. I hope they know how to run crypto projects, right? But hearing Evan say that he's been in it for a long time, you've got some really, really smart people, and they're working with Swiss Foundation, and they're working with Miston Labs. I don't know where this thing's going to go, but you got good people behind it that know how to market. They know how to run businesses. They know how to do, P&Ls and balance sheets and cash flows and all that type of thing. So, yeah, it's a decentralized project, but you've got some pretty smart people that are getting this thing out here for us to be a part of.
You have your hand up, Emesh?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So just to clarify, I think what he was asking, you probably don't have the answer. I think what he was asking is, I know there are certain crypto projects or NFT projects where you are asked whether you live in the US or a particular area, and if you do, you're not to participate. So I guess that's what he's trying to ask is, for the claim, is it okay for people in the US to claim? Are there any issues regarding? I think that's the question he was trying to ask.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he saw that, but on Republic there was a pre-sale where you did have to get it wasn't allowed for the US investors to invest. So as far as other spaces, I'm not sure where he would see that.
Yeah, I'm 90% sure it was the pre-sale. I think that's what I saw it under.
Yeah. Um, if anybody else wants to come up or speak now, kind of getting over to the second hour here. So if anybody else has any questions, like I said, I'm going to be posting this on Spotify and YouTube. So you guys can go, share it to some people that are new or listen to it on the drive home or whatever. Make it easier. It's easier to find. I know some other people may run some spaces and then you try to find it, and before you know it, it's kind of buried under posts. So that's kind of why I'm posting it on Spotify. So if anybody else has anything to add or want to come up real quick before we end this space.
Guys, thanks for having me.
No, thanks for coming up and nice meeting you. All right, Coach, I don't know if you're having issues coming up. I see your request to speak. But if you want to just come up, say some words, play that song, and then we'll head out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I feel like Elon's out to get us today after all this stuff. Just got dropped from the space. Um, again, shout out to the people in the room. I see a lot of friends out here. I see a lot of new people out here. Follow the room. Follow the social accounts. DeLorean Labs. Go to the website. Do your research. Hopefully, we can do some more spaces. I would imagine that DMC will have some spaces coming in the future. It's nice to know that we did hear that the token is going to launch this month. And get out there, follow the room. If anybody needs to reach out to me on DMs, I'll do what I can. I don't work for DeLorean, but you know, I'll help anybody that I can, and if I can't, maybe try to help get you in touch with somebody. Let's spread the word. DMC's coming um, sometime in the next few weeks. Maybe talk to your friends. Get people on the crypto. Let's teach them how. It's not easy to get in. So you go into the marketplace and hey, hook up your credit card or your debit card or what have you. Again, not financial advice. Teach people about security and let's make this thing go. And I just wish for everybody to be prosperous in this crypto journey. That's from the bottom of my heart.
All right, thanks everybody for coming up. Like I said, it'll be posted up soon. Probably attach a link to that. Take it away, Coach.
Pick a winner, somebody, please. Don't make me do it.
I'll let.
I can't see the people.
How do you do this?
I know. I'll tell you what. I will pick one. That Chris or Christ guy that came up that had the courage to come up and speak and ask questions. Uh, yeah, he's already got one, but that would be my choice without going through and doing a Twitter picker or any of that type of thing. If anybody's against it, then download it, and I'll have them give it to me. LOL. Just kidding.
So go ahead. There you go. Go ahead and message Adam. You guys hook up, and he'll hook you up with the time capsule. Thanks for coming up and speaking up, and welcome to DeLorean Labs.
So what you'll do there is just follow Arthur, send him a DM, and make sure it's him. Do something to confirm it, and then he can get your wallet address and get with probably the DeLorean Labs team and get the NFT and get it sent to your wallet. Congratulations, brother.
All right, I think he's driving. So yeah, we'll touch base after. Everybody, thanks for coming up. Did you want to play a song or just we're gonna end it?
Your call. I mean, I've got to pee, so it's either play a song or go pee.
All right, man. Well, thanks everybody again for coming up. We'll see you guys. And for sure, we're going to be doing another space. If new people want to join and all that, it'll be for next time. Thanks, everybody.
Peace out. Much love. Sweet. DMC. Woohoo. Let's do it.